Well, here we go. Never again, as I said, we're gonna have a crazy subjective contest like this. We're gonna go. We're gonna go with something with numbers in it, and so it's just too crazy. Uh, but we don't have a winner. We have a couple winners now. Maybe I'll start like the old hooker. You hook them in, you bait them like we're doing to the Iranians. And I'll show you what I was able to pick up on Saturday and then what I was able to pick up on Sunday. Well, yesterday I got stuck in the mud and I needed a big truck to pull me out. And luckily it was a neighbor and he was very nice about it and didn't charge me a nickel. Uh, but then a friend stopped and he had been to the flea market and he had seen these, which I hadn't, and he gave them to me. And I thought that was very nice of him. And here they are. These are pieces of petrified wood, and some of it very defining, very defining. You can see the gross layers. But this stuff is very soft. These two are very hard, and this stuff, this rest of this is very soft for being petrified wood. But it's very easily defined, and uh, and some nice, very nice pieces. And I'm sure he picked it up for a couple of bucks, but he just saw it and knew I like this kind of stuff, and he bought it and dropped it off. Very nice of him. Thank you very much, John. So I won't be seeking, unless they're extraordinary pieces, as much petrified wood from the boys in Texas as I have been. Sorry about that. But if you saw my table, you'd see that I don't even know where I'm going to be able to put this stuff, let alone where I'm going to be able to put more. So I'm going to have to make another table, obviously. So I got to find some old beat to crap wood. But then I found this at the flea market, and this is beyond a doubt the largest abalone shell I've ever seen. I never even knew they got this big. And this, the guy was asking $2, and it's got a big chip out of it, regrettably, right here on the corner. This corner piece is missing, so I pointed that out, and he gave it to me for $1. But I've always loved abalone. Look at that mother of pearl, how beautiful it is. But just the sheer size of this abalone. Hang on, this I always do this. Hang on a second. Just look at that abalone for a second. uh, Here are a couple of abalones that I had purchased a while back. Beautiful. Nothing. I don't think there's anything as beautiful inside as an abalone shell. But then look when I put it in there. Look at the size difference. And then this one too. This is just remarkable. What they do is they sand this outside layer off, and then you get this. But they're just remarkable shells, abalone. And as they grow, they fill these holes in and then create new holes. And that's how they one of the ways they breathe. But you can see the difference. Look at the difference in the size and the size and the size of those. That is the largest abalone shell I have ever seen. I was just thrilled to death to get it, even though it has a chip in it. But that baby has. See, here's where the holes they filled in. They fill them in themselves where the old holes were along there, and then there's the new holes. But just a beautiful piece. Now, that wasn't enough, and that surely would have been for me. Then we got this. I went down this morning. Dave was there, and he said, He had some things. He bought it at Cowtown yesterday, and I could get them at Spot if I wanted. And this is what I ended up with. And you know me, when it comes to fractional stuff, I'm not that big, not that crazy on it. But this isn't fractional. This is the annual set they put out uh, of quarters, but it's the silver proof set. So these are 90% silver, just like old quarters were. So I got that. Then I got, let me open this up. Then I got these babies, which is, I forget how many quarters I ended up with altogether. And then I ended up with three 50-cent pieces and an old beat the shit Merc dime, which is my favorite. Then I bought, oh, and then this piece here was a 90% advertising the Seoul Olympics in '88. And then I got a Morgan for Spot. Then look at this. I'll get my loop out for those. I had got two 10th ounces, and I got 1901. These, by the way, are proof. I got a 1901 Indian head for Spot. Now, where the hell can you get them? This coin's valued probably 80, $90 over Spot. And these 10th ounces, I am always against buying fractional because there's such a high markup. These 10th ounces, which are proof coins, are I bought for Spot. So I'll buy gold anytime for Spot, and apparently he says that he has access to more, so I'll probably end up getting, which I'm not a big fan of gold, but when you can buy it for Spot, I sure am. So went to the flea market, didn't expect to spend any money, and ended up spending, I guess, about 950 bucks. So that was a flea market deal for this week, and again, always regrettable on this one because this has happened so often. I called him up last night and told him to set that coin out for Jared, and he set it out with his wallet and put it on the couch, and then I guess he sat down, or somebody sat down, and when he got up this morning, or when he went to leave this morning, he grabbed the phone, and the coin must have slipped down in the couch or something because he didn't remember it. But then, being as it wasn't right there, he didn't uh, he didn't see it. So, Jared, I don't know when the hell this coin's arriving, but it's been paid for. All right, now let's get to the contest. To get this thing over with in a hurry, I will say that nobody did well. But I'm going to give the NFL 768. I'm going to give him the comment award because he picked one of my favorite songs, and then he wrote the best passage of it, explaining why, and then he wrote the best passage down. Now this is my list, and I'll tell you, you know. Uh, I went off of the list a lot, giving people credit because I started out with 30 some songs and tried to whittle it down to a dozen, and then I found songs on there I'd never even heard of before. But these would have been my top ones: Jefferson Airplane, Volunteers of America, Barry McGuire, Eve of Destruction, and that may have been my number one pick. Steppenwolf, the entire album, monster album. Uh, Lady Gaga, Born That Way. She's done more to help gay people than any singer I can remember in history, other than people that were just flamboyantly gay. Uh, Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire, Country Joe and the Fish from Woodstock, Peter, Paul and Mary, Blowing in the Wind, Lennon, and there were so many Lennon songs, but I had to give Peace a Chance and Revolution, although I give people credit for other Lennon tunes. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son, and this is the one that NFL picked, and and the reason I chose him. Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, Four Dead in Ohio, Springsteen, his version of War, although anybody's version of War got it, and Dylan, The Times Are Changing. So what I'm going to have to do is uh, Fahrenheit 101 or whatever his channel is. Me and him Skype, and I think it would be unfair because we between the two I talked to him about the songs, so I'll send him something, but I won't declare him the winner. But instead, I'm going to have to send three 50-cent pieces out to Silver Surfing XM, Silver Crazy with three Y's, and uh, let's see. Comment. All right. Those two, and then Fahrenheit, 1100. Uh, uh, because you people had the most, and there were everybody had so many. But as I said, this will be the last time I do one of these. So if Silver Surfer XM will get me his address, I'll send him a set of comics and a 50-cent piece. Silver Crazy, if he same thing gets me an address, I'll send him some comics and a 50-cent piece. And it was so crazy going back and finding them because they were on different videos I'd sent up. But and then Fahrenheit 1100. I'll talk to you. I'll Skype with you. Uh, uh, that's Hugh Smith, and we'll figure out something. But NFL 760 comment. A lot of you had nice comments, and I'm always glad to have comments. So before this thing runs over too long where they won't let me put it up, I have to say that I'll talk to you shortly because I got to put up another one, a video for Kevin this afternoon, and then we'll talk again. Thanks for your time, and thank everybody for entering the contest.